Hey, what's up? How you doing? It is TJX Shaputin back with another video, and I'm pretty clearly an anime fan. Pretty evidently. I mean, this is primarily a gaming channel. I do some other things. I rant about certain stuff, but anime is probably the most important thing to me. That is a pastime that I do for enjoyment. I think if I had to pick gaming or anime to only be able to do one, I would probably pick anime. Just being honest. And I have lived the last 5 years of my life truly believing that Naruto was like the greatest, most deep, most complex work of fiction that I've ever seen. And I decided to watch One Piece. I was going to watch Fairy Tail, but I decided, no, I'm gonna pick up One Piece. People keep talking about it like there's no way it's that good, right? There's no way it's that good. Spoiler alert, it's that good and it's better. And I've never watched something where the quality has never decreased, but it has only increased with every single arc, with each introduction of a new character, new themes. Kozuki Oden's backstory was like 20 episodes, and when watching the backstory of a dead man made me miss seeing him on screen. I truly did, like when it was over. And I've never felt more of a desire to get back on somebody than Oden and the people of Wano getting their revenge on Kaido and Orochi. This story has formulated itself into something that is the most authentic form I've ever seen of diversity, of complexity. There's so many different races, ethnicities. I don't even know how to put it into words. And this video is not scripted. This is purely off the top of my head. The last episode that I just watched was when Luffy gave the Yonko flag to Momonosuke and told him to fly it above the land of Wano, because this is our territory, because if you mess with my friends, you mess with us. And when Zoro poured one out for Yasui and Pedro, oh, my heart, bro. My heart, like, I was like, these are the realest niggas ever. And what's so crazy about that moment is that Pedro wasn't even with Zoro. It was just a really brief time. But he respected Pedro so much because he knows that Pedro sacrificed himself to save his friends. Like, even though he wasn't even there, and he took the time out to show that respect before they went off to the next island. But just the storytelling and bringing things back from hundreds of episodes ago, rarely ever forgetting about characters or forgetting about moments. Like, there's been so many times when I've been watching One Piece and I'm like, well, why don't they just do that? Like for example, when Kaido's castle was on fire and Luffy had just gone Gear 5 and the battle was reaching its climax, and I was thinking to myself, they showed Nami, Chopper, and Zeus, and I was like, why doesn't Zeus just rain down on the fire? Like, I'm sure that would do something. And I was like, of course they're not going to acknowledge that, like thinking that in my head, like it's just an anime, like whatever. Chopper then brings up, Zeus, can't you rain on the flames? And he's like, the flames are they're too hot. I would get burned. Like, the rain wouldn't do anything. And I was like, man, that attention to detail. Like, each arc, the Straw Hats have a different look. Like, they all wear different outfits. It's just tying all the islands that the Straw Hats have been on when showing Roger's journey to become king of the pirates. I like, oh my gosh, it's just mind blowing. And now I think about where we are in the show now, and it's like there's still so much left that has to happen. There's still so much more. Like, none of the Straw Hats have achieved their dreams yet. Like, who's gonna be the final boss? I'm probably gonna start Egghead tonight. But, oh, dude, this is the greatest work of fiction that exists. Like, I don't understand how anybody that's caught up with One Piece could not share that opinion, unless they're just being like disingenuous on purpose. So, a good anime is an onion, and you peel back one layer of incredible quality, and then you peel back another layer of incredible quality with insane attention to detail, with callbacks, with everything that happens in the story used for the express purpose of progressing the story in an interesting way that doesn't feel fake, that doesn't feel inauthentic or forced, that feels like a natural progression. It's so efficient at doing that. And I mean, for the anime experience, it's obviously not very well paced. I don't think that's a secret. And I think anyone ignoring the fact that it's not well paced is also being disingenuous. The pacing is pretty bad in a lot of places, especially arcs like Dressrosa. Thriller Bark kind of dragged for me as well. Punk Hazard dragged for me, and Wano definitely as well. But if you ignore the pacing, and if you take a non-filler approach to this story and this world that has been created so carefully, and it's been so planned out, and it's so intentional, and there's nothing that feels like an accident. Everything feels like it's a coincidence. I'm trying to think of more specific examples. Like the way that they created, or the way that Oda formulated the conflict with Kaido, from Law forming an alliance on Punk Hazard, meeting Momonosuke and Kinemon, and then all of the events of Dressrosa, all of the events of Zoo, the Minks harboring Raizo and never selling him out, sacrificing just so many of their own. Dude, it's crazy. And then the connection back with Whitebeard, and then you see how, like, Izo, who was just like some random crossdresser dude on Whitebeard's crew, like you see like just by happenstance of that guy that wasn't explained, that wasn't given a backstory, way later in the 900s is given a backstory of him being one of the 9 scabbards of the Kozuki clan, and he has this insane connection to Wano in this desire to also aid in taking down Kaido. Like, it was so great, man. And then showing how truly evil and just despicable Orochi was. Like, Orochi was just disgusting. Just such a sick, deplorable, evil person. And I don't want to hear about his backstory. I don't care. I really don't care, because the lengths that Orochi went to for decades. Oh my gosh, man. The smile fruits, like taking pleasure in children starving, and like everything, like with Yasui, and then Ashura's sacrifice, man. I think it was after Whole Cake Island, after the Katakuri fight, for sure, was when I was like, nah, this is the greatest, coldest fictional story ever told. Like, that's when I had to be honest with myself and just be for real. Like, it really is. And everybody gets their moment, man. Everybody gets their shine. Like, Law awoke his devil fruit after getting dog walked in Dressrosa. Law did nothing but be like Uber. He just teleported everybody around. Law got his ass beat in Dressrosa. Like, Doflamingo did him foul. I mean, the only thing he really did was the gamma knife, but I mean, Doflamingo was able to repair himself, so that, I mean, it really didn't do much in the grand scheme of things. But you see him now on Wano, and it feels like such a natural progression. Like, yes, he's 2v1ing with Kid, but he was very impressive. Like, his stamina was like 3x. He wasn't complaining about getting tired. He had all these new moves that they got to display. Oh, it was so great. And oh my gosh, the animation. I should have wrote a list down before I started filming, but I can just talk about it all day long. Like, it's just so phenomenal. I mean, there's still, like, even where I'm at right now, there's still so many unanswered questions. Like, what is Blackbeard? Who is he? Why did Aokiji join them? What was the real reason of, like, getting rid of the warlords? Like, how the hell does Crocodile and Mihawk join a circus group with Buggy? It's like what the hell is Emu? Like, why is opening Wano's borders gonna activate Pluton? And there's even, like, so many unanswered questions from pre-time skip, even still. Like, who are Zoro's parents? Like, why do they not truly elaborate on that in Wano? I felt like the perfect opportunity to, and it's not given much thought. Like, when is Usopp gonna get his big power up? Because he's been the exact same since Fishman Island, and it seems like every other Straw Hat has improved in some way, and Usopp absolutely hasn't, and he was one of the first 5 Straw Hats. So it's like, when is that going to happen? What the hell is Dragon up to? Like, I'm still super confused about that. I saw a meme about Kuzan joining the Straw Hats. Like, what? I know I'm kind of behind, but it's like, what in the world? Oh, I just started thinking too about, like, even Killer. Like, Killer got fleshed out and expanded on a lot in Wano. Like, I thought that was so smart when he cut off Hawkins' arm because the damage had nowhere to go, so he just cut his arm off. Like, that was super smart. Oh, Marco. Oh, he 1v2'd King and Queen and he was there for the Straw Hats just because he's Izo's crewmate and he had a connection to Odin. Like, he's there helping them out, and because one of Whitebeard's dying wishes was, like, protect Straw Hat. And it's so cool, bro. And then Momonosuke and Luffy's relationship and calling him his little brother, and Momonosuke building that confidence to be able to be the Shogun even though he's just an 8-year-old child. And then they tied in Ace knowing Yamato, and then Odin's journal, and just bro, like, after coming this far in One Piece, it's like every other show is so surface level. Like, everything that I thought that was super, super deep in One Piece, I mean, super, super deep in Naruto, it seems like it seems so fickle now. And I know it's recency bias, a lot of it, admittedly, because there are so many iconic moments in Naruto, but it just thinking back on it, because I did watch Naruto, I rewatched all of it from part 1 to the end of Shippuden like 2 years ago. 2022, I rewatched all of Naruto. So I don't necessarily think it's super recency bias. And then Storm Connections came out that I played for a good while too, to just really remind me of just how much I love Naruto. But narratively, story-wise, like, character depth, character expansion, like, Oda blows Kishimoto out of the water. It's not even comparable. Like, the art is mangaka. I mean, I've never read One Piece manga. I've only watched the anime. But just story-wise and how much attention to detail all the characters are given, like Rebecca and Soldier in Dressrosa were given so much characterization. There's so many characters, factions, interconnecting parts. Like, it's It's an onion with layers and layers of quality from the top down. It's just absolutely beautiful, man. It truly is a beautifully told story. And I trust Oda so much that I think that when this show wraps up, or when this series wraps up, it will go down unequivocally as the undisputed greatest story ever told. And like, man, in 2024, I can say with confidence there will never be another One Piece. I am so glad I started watching it. I'm so thankful that it's getting a remake, because I think it's going to introduce so many more people to One Piece, and they're going to be able to watch it with modern animation, with modern pacing, and not have to trudge through some of the more difficult watch experiences from early on. I'm just so thoroughly excited to take part in that. And man, Gear 5, what a power up. What a perfect power for the character of Monkey D. Luffy. I had to, bro. But like, Gear 5 fits him so well. It's so good, bro. And even like say what you want about the anime, because it has so many flaws, but like, Zoro is training on the Sunny, and you see his ankles, and there's still the cut marks, like the scarring are from around his ankles on that dinosaur island with Mr. 3, where he almost cut his feet off because he was getting turned into a statue. Like, stuff like that. It's like they've been consistent with that this whole time, like for decades, man. And the way that they showed Kaido's strength, like Kaido's power, I've never seen a villain on screen that's ever been that intimidating. Like, yeah, Kaido is huge, he's like 18 feet tall, whatever it is, but that nigga was insane. Like, if you just think about the events of Wano, like, Luffy finally gets there after everybody else, after the pirate samurai mink ninja alliance, like after they get there and like they're laying low, and everybody that went to Whole Cake comes back, or rendezvous at Wano, and they get the first altercation where Luffy gets one shot. So it's like Kaido's minding his business. What the freak is going on? Bonk sends him to jail. Join my crew because you're strong. Like, everything happens at the prison, and they had no idea that Tama used her little dumpling fruit to tame the Babanuki dude, and he lies over the intercom, and they have no idea. Like, everybody showing up at Onigashima is such a surprise, and then like the 9 scabbards coming and stabbing Kaido off of that ledge at the performance floor and taking that fight up to the rooftop. And then he gets fed up, starts moving the island. All the supernovas get there. He starts fighting all the supernovas after a drawn out fight with the scabbards. And then just Big Mom shows up. So he's fighting them. They leave to go fight Big Mom. Then he starts 1v1ing Luffy after however long. Gets fed up, knocks Luffy off the roof, then starts fighting Yamato. She goes into her mythical dog fruit form. Luffy starts eating, comes back after a lunch break, flies in on a freaking giant pink dragon. Gear 4 Snake Man punches the mess out of bro in the solar plexus. Oh my goodness. He just kept going and going and going, unleashing attack after attack. Like, he got permanently scarred by Zoro. Like, everybody tried jumping him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I could say, man. If you haven't watched it, you're missing out. And I know it's long, but if you really commit to it, and if you can get through some of the more dated parts of the show, and really get what One Piece is all about, I think you're going to be very, very thankful that you did. And when One Piece ends, it's going to be a moment felt globally. And I feel like most people in the anime world would want to be a part of that. So I think it's one of the most important fictional works that exists right now in the modern age, and it is my favorite fictional work ever. So that's been my yap session about One Piece. Yeah, man, it's just incredible. It just is. So if you like the video, like it, share it with your friends. I've been TJ Extra Putin. I'm probably gonna record some Red Dead 1 tonight. I'm gonna start a playthrough on that game. So yeah, but if you made it to the end, I love you. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Later.